Hi all, welcome to the workshop. We now have issues 19 to 22 of Build Kit from the Knight Rider series. Starting off with the intake and a bit of the turbo. We've got turbo, we've got the part of the intake, another small metal piece here. We've got some GM screws and some AM screws. But before I do that, what I'm going to do is bring over the main part of the car. And if you remember, we had these 3 pipes from issue 18. Now, I don't know why they didn't tell us to do this in issue 18, because steps 3 onwards in issue 19, as you can see, is attaching those pipes. So I'm going to actually do that first, because this is the only part we need of the car. So we've got 3 lengths of hose, and what we need to do is we need to attach them to each of the 3 connectors on the battery, and then to the 3 fans. And we're just going to be working our way down. So the shortest one goes on the bottom and goes to the first fan. The medium sized one, middle fan, and onto the middle connector, and then the longest one on the third fan, and onto that connector there. So that is looking just like that. Really have no idea why they didn't tell us to do that in issue 18. I've not used any parts from issue 19 at the moment. As you can see, I've jazzed up the front radiator and the control box. You also notice that the washer bottle and battery are both missing because I'm working on those at the moment. But for now, for this part, that's all we need to do with this section of the car. So that can now be put to one side. Right, going back to steps 1 and 2. As you can see, we're just joining these together. So I've got my little pot of oil. And the first thing we're going to be doing is grabbing the intake, and then we're going to be putting this small clip onto there. Now there is an orientation to this, so with this flange flat on the lower half, you want the moulded side of this to be that way. So you're looking at it in that orientation. And then we're going to be securing that from the back with 2 AM screws. And that is what that's looking like, just like that. And you can see the orientation. We are now going to get this part and this part, and this is metal. It's quite weighty. And in this channel here, we're going to be placing this one just like that. And we're going to be securing that with 2 GM screws. And that's issue 19 complete. So here we are, issue 20. And on this one, we've just got a few parts to put together, putting together the right side of the exhaust of the turbine. So first thing we're going to be doing is getting this piece and this piece, and we're just going to be joining those together like that. We're going to be securing that with 2 BP screws. One, 2. Now, from that, we're going to be taking the larger section and we're going to be marrying those two together just like that, so that they are even. So you can't put them wrong around. And then we'll be using this plate, and that will secure it just in there. And we're going to be using a CP screw in the center of this, and then we'll be putting 2 more CP screws in the outer part. And that is stage 20 complete. We now have issue 21, and basically we're doing the opposite of what we did in issue 20. So we've got the parts for the left hand side of the turbine exhaust. And assembly is identical, so we're going to be putting these 2 parts together first. We're going to be securing those with 2 BP screws. Just like that. And then we're going to be attaching it to this piece, and again using the little bracket, and we're going to place that one on there, and we're going to be securing that with 3 CP screws. And that's what that looks like. So we're finishing off with this build pack with issue 22. These are the parts we get for this issue. We've got the left and right sides of more of the turbine housing. These are all marked left and right with L and R's. The same with these 2 other brackets. So I've just orientated them so they're together. The first thing we're going to be doing is working on the left side. We're going to be getting this piece, and we're going to be using some of the bits from our previous issues. So grabbing the left hand side exhaust assembly, and we're going to be placing that just on there. So, we're going to be securing that from the back with 2 BP screws. One in there, and one just in there. So that's the left side. We're also going to be grabbing the bracket marked L for this one, and just looking at orientation, we're going to be putting it this way up, so the flat part here lines along the flat part of this and just goes over those 2 lugs. Again, 2 more BP screws will secure that in place. So that's the left side. We're now going to get this other piece we got that we produced earlier. We're going to be placing it so the left hand side one exhaust goes towards the rear, away from this black section here. And we're going to be securing that in place with 2 GM screws. And that one looks like just like that. Now we're going to do the exact same thing for the other side. So assembling the exhaust like that. And 2 BP screws hold that in place. Just like that. And again, I'm going to be getting the right side connector. I'm going to stick it on there. Oops. And again, 2 BP screws will hold that one in place as well. And then again, we're going to be adding that to this section. And again, 2 more GM screws will go in there to secure that. One. 2 in there. We have it just like that. Keep it all tight. Okay. And then we're going to finish off with this little rod, and it's going to come in from this side just like that and push through to the other side. Line it up. It's quite a stiff fit, but it does go, and that's what that is looking like. and that is stage 22 and the build pack complete. I'll wait for more next month. Thank you for joining me in the workshop today. I do hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, please remember to give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more of how KITT progresses, please remember to hit that subscribe button and ding that bell. I'll see you around.